Kehiche, because it they go a lot of the things that have been done to Alaigbo, IPOB, ESN. Kehiche IPOB Megona Igbo, ESN, you've wrote some gory things and everything about Umuoma Kano and everything. Kehiche ha megasi. And ụfọdụ na-ajụ, how do you know it's IPOB? I think I saw that your post. Some of people that are asking, how do you know it's IPOB? Address that. Mego. What do you have against them? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't have anything against them. I think I probably have a thing against Alaigbo. It's not personal. If it were personal, then it would be personal. After all, they are not in Imo State, but they are in also an Imo State. And if I can't go into Imo State, the man has to go out there, because that's one of the first loves of my life.
Yes.
So if we look at Ndinase, how do you know it's IPOB? You sat at home for 4.5 years. Why didn't you leave your house every Monday? It is because you knew what was awaiting you, and it was going to be brutal force. It means that you saw those videos. You saw when he said, we love dead bodies. And I'm quoting him verbatim now. We know that it's IPOB. We know because the leader of IPOB on the radio at several occasions, hours and hours and hours of audio of him. Most of them, we listen to them in real time. I started shouting then that these orders, people will follow it. So one thing Kanu is very convincing. He can convince anybody to even buy themselves. When we started warning that these things were no longer orders, they were utterances, and they were going to be the utterances that are going to lead to destruction. But I said, how do you know it's IPOB? IPOB was prescribed in 2017. Right? Prescription means that every activity that comes from you is now illegal. So it means that by the time ESN was formed, it was already an illegal entity by being a creation of IPOB. So it means that anything after that, whether it's the intent, whether it's the motive that they claim that that's what informs them, no longer stood, because now you are a prescribed group. Now you are going to save Igbo people from, they said, Fulani herdsmen. From the time that ESN first occupied Osun, because Osun was the first onslaught, to today, we saw them march, wear black. Thanks to ESN being formed, people forget that ESN came from BSA. They first created a Biafran army. This is the time that Kanu was out on bail. There was an army that wore black that always followed him. They turned it into ESN. When 2021, by the time ESN had occupied those communities, on my one community that I'm that you call a native from that community, joy. I wouldn't address it. There's no Igbo person that cannot enter any Igbo community. So when people ask me, how do you know it's IPOB? I'm drawing. Why were you sitting at home on Monday if it was not IPOB? What were you scared of? Who were you scared of? Why did you sit at home on Monday? Whatever. What were you so scared about that who were those people that you were scared about? So when you get to that answer, you will know why we say it's IPOB. For the evidence that already exists from those audios, from those videos, from those orders, from personal orders of attacks, into those things, what an educated person would do is everybody, and this is why I hate what our politicians are doing, and I make no exceptions for any of them. Because all of them sat around when all of this was going on, and they did speak true to power. Because if we ask ourselves how non-state actors were able to cripple the economy, forget to go to the economy, we lost trillions of naira, more money.
Yes.
So when you ask yourself, money was lost in all of the Igbo people. Because
yes.
Forget that and main market, these three places didn't just served Igbo people and Nigeria. It served neighboring African countries. Okay? So what that invariably means is that the trillions of naira eluzu during the 4 years of sit at home is Igbo people's money. Money that would have gone into our economy, gone through the economy, gone through our pockets, gone through our development or whatever. That have to go down on our side, but it's very, very important. Because we have to talk about the economic, then we have to talk about the psychological. Any Igbo youths today that I call, Ibian na my inbox most of the time yourself are these human beings. When the Igbo people get to the point that Obrun and my support to him our brother Joy was because of his support of APC. Ndi was not you know, he didn't even have the right to do. We talked about the economic, we talked about the psychological, the psyche, the galvanizing of Igbo youths into this sort of 130 young people that every frustration and those guys I don't want to radio social media. Thank God social media existed, because if social media didn't exist at this level, people would have tried to gaslight us and say things like, how do you know it's them? We have the evidence. In fact, the conviction is based on a lot of the evidence. In real time, most of us listened to it from 2015 to 2021. Every broadcast on IPOB is archived. One of the greatest things IPOB ever did was provide the evidence against what they are doing.
Yes.
And they subscribed to demagoguery, and they wanted to prove so much that they were in control that they forgot what the optics showed and what the evidence on ground showed. The evidence on ground showed that also Liu Achala, right?
Yes.
That those communities, how do we know it's IPOB? Because now the economic, the psychological, and then the physical part. You have witnesses who bore witness and when we have evidence how Bucha have become the type of people who glorify war. To the point that Bucha make the video, send their family and how do we know that it's IPOB? IPOB showed that it was them. Okay, now that's the video of the PLA and Kano, Chineke. Kano himself called them angels. This unknown gunmen, unknown gunmen. I call them unknown men because we have known them since 2021. The politicians knew who they were. They knew who sent them. They were dilly-daddling and pretending they didn't know. And to the point where now all of these victims, we talked about the victims that didn't have to die, just like with the war. Starvation. Right now, what is inspiring people is not Biafra. So anybody who's asking me how we know IPOB is being disingenuous, but there's no country in the world where you go on a radio and you call for the buying of police, military buildings, and then your members follow that should not be held responsible for that. There is no place in the world where that is possible. So how do we know it's IPOB? Because the evidence says it's IPOB. The sit-at-home says it's IPOB. The enforcement says IPOB. It crippled local businesses. So when the aging part of mind, small business, somebody now, how do we know? If you're on Monday, on Monday until recently. So why would you be asking me? How do we know? We know because we see it, because it's self-evident, and because every Igbo person who has conscience, how do we know? you think the spirits of those people able? There are families now that are Christmas. This Christmas is here. They will not eat chicken with their family. When I get around and celebrate, now how go our loved one. Those people, you know, some people are saying, why don't you talk about the origin? What caused it? Everybody Python dance, everybody in Nigeria, they are anything. Or maybe innocent Igbo people, because these people are Biafran. They are Igbo people of the southeast of Nigeria. That southeast is Nigerian territory. There's nothing like Biafra that exists on any map. It means that then the land is now angry. Then if they were under the law, you had no authority as a non-state actor to command that that part doesn't eat at the conscience of people, that people go to sleep at night. And that doesn't make them wake up and have a visceral reaction to the fact that somebody is singing, and one Memorial Day that happens in the world that is forced. We have Memorial Days in America. Be on the weekday. The only offices that close are government offices. That's it. Every other business is open. People are going about their business. It's as a public holiday in Europe, but the time it makes you, so if you're saying that all of these reasons, also the Igbo marginalization, or Igbo marginalization and Igbo persecution, just 2 weeks ago in a little church, we a pastor, pastor about insecurity. And I said, something we should be replicating. That is so different that you want to be extricating yourself from Nigeria. Why should I look at what bandits and terrorists are doing there? I do then acknowledge that you're a terrorist, that I should then accept you. Because of but if we destroy Alaigbo, the same Nigeria you say hates you, is going to sit by and watch. Anyone who cannot go back to the village without direction and GPS. You that is America funding the destruction of but you put that your new truck, Ghana village. So
okay, Chuku. All the money you have been spending on Omowani and clubbing, if you have invested it in land banking with the Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited, all this loan app will not be pursuing you up and down. One, stop learning. Come and invest in land banking with the Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited.